Shalom, shalom, Israel. I'm your brother Kaya out of GMS camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, once again, I'm on my lunch break. I was going to do a little lesson, going into this war that's going on. And that draft going to come real soon too. I want to go into that, and get a few scriptures before I have to go back in. And just wanted to hit the button. But yeah, that draft is going to come. At the end of the day, Donald Trump and them is lying to the American people, talking about the casualties and how many people have died. There's most likely, you got to think about something. The casualty numbers are high. All the people they send over that's getting blown up and shot down and whatnot. Also, you got to think about the embassies and whatnot that they have got bombed and this and that, blown off the map, to say. You maybe talk about 1,000 people or more. While their government here and the president here is telling the American people some other bull crap. See, when this continues to go on, what do you think is going to happen? See, pretty soon they're going to issue in a draft. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Was it Pete Hudson that was asking for all that? I think, is that his name? That was asking for all that money for the war, and the lady started talking about, well, you want to fund this war that nobody asked to be in, but you're not talking about our kids eating and all this other stuff. You're basically asking for this and for that. Wait until they start asking for your children. Oh, because it's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen, because they don't have the numbers. They really don't. But anyway, before we start all the way through, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rahawadash. Of course, I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us and ruled well, teach this and rule well. Also want to say shalom to the 144,000. I also want to say shalom to the speckled bird up there. I also want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim that are listening. And just saying, going back into this war, this is inevitable. World War III is going to happen. And eventually it's going to pour over here to Babylon, aka America. And the scriptures also tell you that, that the things that's going to, come into unwalled villages, the people that's going to come over here, the things that's going to come over here, the nukes, the missiles and whatnot. But before that comes, what's going to be happening? Matter of fact, even the book of Joel, and we'll get that, Yahweh Shemal Shah said he going to call these heathens and these Edomites and whatnot to the Yahweh Shaphat. What is that, Jehoshaphat? And the Joel, was that Joel 2 or Joel 3? I know it's in Joel, and I'll look for it in a minute. But this is what's going to happen. Also, to the point where when I talk about that draft, the scriptures talk about that these young men, the women will cry not having bridegrooms and whatnot. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get the scriptures, because I don't have a long lunch break. But let me share some scriptures with y'all. And bear with me, Israel. So the first scripture I want to get, once this tablet opens up, we're going to get the book of Joel, right? Joel chapter 3 and verse 2 is where I want to go. And let's get that. Because, see, this war that's going to happen, this World War III, and then when Yahushua pull up, what did he say? It's for the controversy of Zion. It's for us. It's for his people, the Israelites. For what all the heathens done, what Esau, Edom has done, they going to pay for what they done. And see, all of them that going to get snatched up in this, 2/3 that's going to get snatched up in this war and whatnot, y'all got to fight against Yahushua if y'all make it that long, because that's what's going to happen too. Matter of fact, let me go and go here real quick. Let's go to the book of Joel, right? And bear with me, Israel. This is Joel, right? Chapter 3 and verse 2. Let me see. Bear with me. Hold on. Yep, this is it. This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So now you start to understand why this is going to happen too, because Yahweh Shemal Shah is doing this for the controversy of Zion, for what has happened to us. Now, when I did say 2/3 of our people are going to be fighting in that war, 2/3 of our people are dying right now. You know, what was it? I can't think of the Issacharite woman's name, because they said there was an Edomite named Tyler, then it was a Jake, and then it was an Issacharite girl that got smashed. Or I guess they shot a missile at one of the buildings and she got smashed. And you got to understand, it wasn't just her. Also, too, when you think about it, how these devils even treat Jake. It's fun. It's not funny, but this is crazy. Because in that video, I'm remembering it, is that Trump flew home the so-called white kid's family and went and honored them and said, we're going to honor Taylor, whatever his last name, Taylor, whatever his last name, they're going to honor him. But when they showed the Hispanic and the black person, so-called black person, there was no honor in that person, which lets you know that these devils don't even give a damn. And we keep telling Jake this, that this government don't give a crap about y'all. These Edomites don't care. Matter of fact, the tiny hats are saying a good goyim, go die for his goyim. This is what you get, Jake. I don't only talk about the 2/3. This is what you get because you trust in this devil so much. This devil putting y'all on the front lines and getting you killed and smashed up. And then on top of it, like I said, if you last long enough, then you're going to deal with Yahweh Shai. And he going to obliterate you. Right? But see, once again, this war is going to happen. It's inevitable. It's a wrap. And here in America, here in Babylon, aka America, it's going to get real bad over here too. Because now, what is it saying? Now they got it, what is it? The militaries are joining forces with what? Israel? You know what that's going to be like. They're going to join in, and eventually they're going to take, what is it? Is that the Second Amendment where they take away your guns? And so when you think about when they take away your guns, what happens? Because they're going to push that law, but they're going to come over here, they're going to take away the American people's gun, or they're going to try, or whatever. And once you take the society's weapons away, easy pickings. That's another reason why right now you're seeing what? You're seeing the Israel flag with the American flag. If you're looking at these different news weeks, they're showing different things. Of course, you got certain people that are against it, but you know they're going to pass that shit. It's everything we talk about is prophecy. Every last bit of it. We tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Matter of fact, when we go through the scriptures and we see the things that Yahweh Shem Shai show us through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, and we give it to the elect. Now, of course, 2/3 do listen, and to a certain degree, and then they cut it off and don't want to listen no more. But at the end of the day, we're telling you that World War III is inevitable. The draft is inevitable. It's going to happen. It is what it is. Matter of fact, here, let's go here. Let me not ramble too much. Let me get these scriptures. 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter is where I want to go. And bear with me, because I got to go through here. This is going to be 2nd Ezra, right? The 16th. Come on. Let me see. 33. Is it 33? 2nd Ezra 16. Bear with me. Bear with me, Israel. I'm just going to highlight it real quick. It's taking me so long because I like to. I'm not doing this on my phone. It's like a tablet here. So this is 2nd Ezra, right? The 16th chapter, and 33 and 34. Remember this. When the draft comes, right? And I'm telling you, whoever gets snatched up, you're not coming home. You're not coming home. Listen to this. This 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. What's happening right now? A lot of men are getting killed right now. Oh, it's gonna ramp up. It's gonna get worse. You know, what we're not seeing on the news yet is many families crying and, you know, screaming because, you know, their children are dead. Went to that war, they ain't coming back. And they're going to keep sending people and keep sending people. And as soon as the numbers dwindle, guess what? 18 to 40 something, 46 or whatever, the draft. You know? And then you got to think about that. Most men today, testosterone low, they don't act like men, they don't want to fight, they don't want to do anything. Boy, it's gonna be a turkey shoot. It is what it is. But once again, let's get the scripture again, right? 2 Ezra 16, right? And 33, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. You know, and they really gonna be mourning when the articles actually come out about how many people really died, and when them family members start to realize that their sons or their husbands or their wives are dead. You know? Phew. Man. It is what it is though, right? The virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. The daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. And that famine, guess what? That famine gonna happen over here too. But like I said, like I was saying a while ago, man, that draft is coming. They about to be snatching up everybody 17, 18, whatever for this war. And at the end of the day, this is the thing too, you got to understand, they not going to send their children. You know, that's why I tell you, 2/3 are in trouble. And the time going to come, if you last, you're going to fight Yahweh Shai. And the scriptures talk about that too. And he going to obliterate you. This is why we say, man, if Yahweh shall bless you, get up out that military and got you up out of there, man. What scripture I want, because I know I'm due to time. Just Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel. We can go there. Let's go to Ezekiel. Yep. What is this? Ezekiel. Come on. Ezekiel, the 7th chapter is where I want to go. Ezekiel the 7th, Ezekiel 7 and verse 15. Let's see, bear with me. Here's, Ezekiel 7 and 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence, and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. So it tells you what's going to happen in the military, what's going to happen in that field. Also, it tells you what's going to happen in the cities. The famine, Jeremiah 30 and 7, and so on. And guess what? That famine going to hit real quick. Because with that Strait of Hormuz and all the stuff that's going on, they talking about they can't fertilize. Oh, matter of fact, thinking about that fertilizer, guess what? They're using human shit to fertilize your food. Wonder why everybody's getting sick with this stomach virus or whatever's going on. Because you got to think about it. If there's no what do you call that? When I'm ahead, Salakia, what is that called? Oh man, I hate when that happens. Okay, we gotta get out of these bodies. What is that? Fertilizer. There it is. Yeah, you think about that fertilizer. They can't get no fertilizer. What they start using? Human waste. Start fertilizing the ground, doing what this and that, and next thing you know, E. coli and all this other stuff pop up. Then on top of the GMOs and everything else, now it's going to come to the point. It's coming to the point where they're talking about with this war, wow, there are trickle down effects that the grocery stores, everything's going to get high, and the food's going to come up. They're not going to be able to grow food fast enough and replenish. So what ends up coming, y'all? A famine. So you start to understand what the scriptures are telling you. It's about to get real bad out here. People's stomach gonna be touching their back pockets pretty soon. All these jobs and all this stuff that's going on is gonna come to a screeching halt. And call Allah Yahweh Shemel Shah on that. Ezekiel 7 and 14, right? Or was that 15 I wanted? Ezekiel 7 and 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Famine and pestilence. Now remember in the book of Deuteronomy about pestilence and diseases? Haven't y'all noticed that there's just more diseases popping up? The measles, this, that, the third. There's always something popping up. And remember the scriptures talk about what does it say in Deuteronomy? Roughly paraphrasing. What is that? That Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is gonna bring new plagues. You know? Basically, roughly paraphrasing, he's gonna bring these new plagues that he about to bring. People, man, like I told you, man, it's about to get real bad. Now you got the draft, you got the famine, you got Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30:7. You got 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter happening. The B&E, the breaking and entering. Because what do you think is going to happen when the famine hits? When the famine hits America, aka Babylon, aka America. People gonna lose it out here. Tell you. Matter of fact, let's get another scripture, right? What time is it? Now, time go by quick. Let's go to Jeremiah, right? And that's a good thing, time going by quick. Jeremiah chapter 9, so we can get all this stuff can get popping. You know what I'm saying? You can get these things start, you know, really speed up. You let us know Yahweh Shai, hey, get us up out of this. Which we know he is. He's gonna get the elect. And I'm one of the hopeful elect. Hoping like heaven. I'm gonna keep doing this work. Let me see, Jeremiah 9 and verse Jeremiah 9:22. I'm just see if I want to read in the NLT. Man, this is Jeremiah 9:22. Speak thus, saith the Lord. Even the carcasses of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestmen, and none shall gather them. Man, boy, y'all gotta understand, man. Over there, it's gonna be just dead bodies everywhere. It's gonna be dead bodies in Yahweh Shaphat. It's gonna be dead bodies everywhere. That's when it makes sense when they come. That makes sense when we come back down and we pull them out them caves, out them bunkers they go into. The first job they gonna have is to bury them damn bodies. But once again, World War III is inevitable. And as I said earlier too, the draft. Oh, it will come. 2/3 of our people, you know, these heathens or whatever. Yeah, they're gonna get snatched up. And like I said, you last long enough, Yahweh Shai pull up, you don't get obliterated. And I'm talking about many things that's going on right now. Lessons inside of a lesson, talking about a lot of stuff that's going on. But these are things that are letting us know how close we really are to Yahweh Shai. How close it is for him to, like I say, he on the way. He about to pull up. You know? Let me see. What's that scripture I wanted to get? Oh yeah, we gotta get that. Because the time gonna come. Yep. 2nd Ezra 13:8. Right? Bear with me. I keep saying when Yahweh Shai pull up and these people in this war. And what he's gonna do. Yahweh Bashim Shai about to obliterate these people. Ezekiel 13. Ezekiel. 2nd Ezra 13. Second Ezra 13:8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yes, durst fight. So that's what's going to happen too. Because see, y'all got to understand, when this war is going on and everything, everybody's shooting and killing and jets flying and all that, Yahweh Shai going to pull up. Like was that President Reagan, Ronald Reagan, when he was talking about, oh, you know, if something came, will we all, something roughly praying like, if something came, and will we all not join together and fight against, come together as a common cause to fight against, you know, basically what he was saying, to fight against Yahweh Shai. Will we not all together turn the jets around? Will we not all to come together and fight? Oh, they're going to do that. Some are going to try to run, and Yahweh Shai going to put the spirit on them to turn them jets around to come fight him, to come shoot at him. And Yahweh Bashim Shai and the chariots are going to obliterate their ass. Because the scripture say, well, it said perceive was nothing but what? Smoke. Is this in this one? Hold on. Yeah, let's read further. What's going to happen? 2nd Ezra 13 and verse 9. I'm gonna highlight it real quick, y'all. Let me see. Maybe 10 too. Let's breathe in tongues. Ooh, hold on. I want to make it a little more. I know it's time for me to go back in. We gotta get one more. Oh, they're gonna be mad. Oh well, they'll be all right. 2nd Ezra 13, right? We're gonna start at verse 8, right? Then to 11, and we'll close out. 2nd Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, like they were going to subdue Yahweh Shai, were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Yahweh Bashim Shai obliterated they behinds. Nothing was left but smoke. Man. So all those that's going into this war and fighting for Babylon and Israel, what do you think's about to happen? Like I said, some of you will make it far enough, but when Yahweh Shai pull up, you heard what them scriptures say? That's what's going to happen to a lot of y'all loved ones. Because once again, the draft will come. It is what it is. Because they, at the end of that, like I said earlier, hey, they lying. As soon as they lips are moving, as soon as they lips get to moving, they lying. It's only been 18 or so many casualties. It's low ass number. But I ran over there blowing up what do you call that? The not silos, blowing up where the Americans go and they stay and they have a little base and all that. I forgot what they're called. And they blew all them up. You talking about only 18? It was only a small amount of people. Matter of fact, you got to understand, there's people most likely calling to talk to their loved ones and can't get through. Trying to call out there and talk to their loved ones, because I guess whenever they not fighting or they're on base or whatever, they can take a phone call maybe, I'm assuming. But they can't get a hold of them. Why? Because the American people, the government's like, if this gets out, I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, man, World War III is inevitable, man, and that draft is coming. All you Pookies and Ray Rays and whatnot, yep, about to get snatched up. You like to have them, that guy love your, what do you call them things? Y'all like to wear them masks and all that. They'll let you running out there in that 100-degree heat with that goddamn shiesty on. Talking about twin and whatever. Yeah. But anyway, just let y'all know that draft is coming. It's definitely coming. But anyway, it was just a few scriptures I want to share, just hitting the button, you know. Salaki falls all over the place, just want to talk about something, you know. Lessons inside of a lesson, because a lot going on, a whole lot going on. But it's beautiful to see, because at the end of the day, we understand prophecy. We understand this is something that has to happen for us to go home. And it is what it is. I'm happy. I'm like, yeah, call all y'all Bashim Yahshua. Because pretty soon, we about to go home. But anyway, I'm going to say this. Hope you was edified. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor. It's to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachach, and Shalom. Until the next time.